Welcome back to the channel, guys. In this video, I am going to talk about what are Booleans, comparison operators, and logical operators. This is an easy and super important concept for you to understand because before taking any of our JavaScript discussions further, it is really necessary for you to understand how Booleans work and what comparison operators do and what is the role of logical operators, and you have to understand each of these concepts very well. Let's start understanding Booleans first. A Boolean can either be a true or false, but not both at the same time. Let's understand what is a Boolean through a real life statement. All Indians are Asians. If you consider this statement, this is a true statement because all Indians comes into the category of Asians as well. And let's consider another statement which is all Asians are Indians. If you consider this statement, this is a false statement because there are many countries in Asia other than India. Some of them are Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and Pakistan, etc. And if you see the statement, it can be either a false or true, but not both at the same time. That is the same case with Booleans as well. A Boolean value can either be a true or false, but not both at the same time. Booleans play a major role in programming language because Booleans will decide the flow of execution of the program. Let's create a JavaScript Boolean variable. Let st equal to true. In general, we extract these Boolean values by comparing any of the two values in this form, variable or value, and in the middle a comparison operator will be present and it will be compared with another variable or value. Let's console.log a comparison just to show you once. I am going to take 5 greater than 4. Since 5 is greater than 4, I am expecting true to be printed to the console, and let's see what it will bring for us. Yeah, it was printing true for us. Since the console is showing true, we can confirm that a boolean is coming through a comparison of two values. Since a boolean is coming through comparison, we can store it in a boolean variable. Let's say is greater equal to 5 greater than 4. We are storing this boolean comparison and the result that it sent back. Uh, let's confirm this by printing is greater to the console. Let's run the program again, and now you can see the true is still printing to the console, which means is greater is successfully storing this boolean comparison into this variable. Let's have another boolean variable like is lesser, which is 5 less than 6, and I'm printing it to the console is lesser. Since this statement will also become true, I'm expecting two truths to print for the console. Yeah, now two truths are printed to the console, which is the result from is greater and is lesser. And you can play with the rest of the comparison operators like greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. In JavaScript, we have two equality operators, which are double equal to and triple equal to, and each has its own functionality. And in general, we use strict equality to compare two values. And I will explain what the double equal to mean, but let me show you what a triple equal to is to. Is equal to 5 equal to 5, and let's print the result to the console. Dot log is equal. Save the program and run it in the console again. Yeah, now you can see three truths are printed to the console, which are coming from is greater, is lesser, and is equal. Now I'm going to remove an equal to here, and let's save the program and run it again. Now you notice the result is not changed. That means the output is not changed, but you will really see this in action by making this 5 as a string value. Let's save the program and run it again in the console. Now you see the result still is not changed. Again, three trues are printing. Now you may have a doubt. How come this number 5 is equal to the string 5? This is the magic in JavaScript. In JavaScript, double equal to means it will only compare what's the content present in it, but it will not compare the data type. So that's why you are seeing a true printing to the console. Let's clear the console once and add a triple equal to it, save the program and run it again in the console. Sorry. Now you can see false is printing to the console. This is because this time it was comparing both the data that is present and the data type that we are currently comparing to each other. So that's why it was resulting in false. So this is the functionality difference between double equal to and triple equal to. Let me show you the inequality operator as well. Let is unequal equal to 5 not equal to 5. I'm using a strict inequality operator here and I'm going to print is unequal to the console just to see what's the result it was storing. Save the program and run it again in the terminal. Now you can see an extra false is printing to the console. This is because we are comparing two 5s with an inequality operator. Since 5 will always equal to 5, it will result in false. So that's why we are seeing false in the terminal. Just like in triple equal to and double equal to case, this inequality operator can be used in the same way as well for strict inequality and just inequality. And it is recommended to use strict inequality for any of the comparisons, just like in the triple equal to case. Now let's jump into this logical operators. I have taken a new file and I want to start from scratch. These logical operators can be used along with numbers, strings, booleans as well. Just now we have learned about booleans, so I want to show you initially how to work with booleans, and then later I will show you what are truthy values and falsy values. And I want to just give an introduction regarding that truthy and falsy values. Let me give this example for you. This is not actually an example, this is just a series of console.log statements. And at first we start with AND operator. Just remember this point regarding the AND operator. What AND operator will see is it will print true or return a true value if and only if all the statements or conditions that are applied along with it results in true. Then only it will give you a result of true. So what will happen in the here is uh, here in this console.log true and true. Since both the values are true here, it will print true here. Now in the second statement, first one is true and the second one is false. It will result in false because all the statements that are applied using AND operator are not true. One of the value is false. So that's why you will see a false value printed to the console. Let me and the rest of the statements is will also result in false. And let me run it in the terminal. Yeah, now you can see the result. One true is printed to the console because all the statements that are applied with the AND operator are true, and for the rest of the items it was false. And let me demonstrate you the OR operator as well. Save the program and run it again in the console. And OR operator functionality is somewhat different from the AND. What it will check is if there is at least one true value that it can see, then it will send a true result. Since if based on the statement that I have made just now, it will see a true here. So that's why at least one of the item is true here. So that's why it will send a true as a result back. And this is the same case as the one that I have discussed now. False and true. One true is present, so true will be returned. Now in the statement, it will look for a true. Initially it encountered false and now it encountered false and end of the statement, so it will result in false. Now I'm expecting three truths to be printed in a series and a false at the end. Yeah, that is what we are getting in the console as well. Now let me cover the negate operator as well. A negate operator is that operator which will basically reverse the boolean that it gets. Let me show you what I mean by that. Console.log, and I am using a negate operator here, and I am giving false to it. Just now I have told you like it will simply reverse the boolean what it has received. So I am expecting a true to be printed to the console. Now you can see a true printing at the bottom, and the top four has not changed. This is because we have used a negate operator to negate the result. Here we have used a false boolean and it negated it to true. It's basically like on or off. That's how this negate operator will work. These logical operators can be used in combinations as well. Combinations in the sense we can use OR operator and AND operator to determine a single decision of either true or false. Let me show you what I am trying to say. I am creating a let variable. I am assigning a true value for it, true boolean for it, and I am creating another variable b, and I'm assigning false for it, and I'm creating another variable c, and I'm assigning a to it, and I am creating another variable d, and I am assigning b to it. Now I am trying to write a statement for it. Let's say a or b and c or d, and I want to print this result to the console as well. Let me comment these items just to avoid any confusion that may come later. Let's try to understand what is the output that is going to be print for the console. Here in JavaScript there exists certain term called precedence. Precedence means giving priority to a certain item in the programming language. Here in this logical operators we have more priority for AND than this OR. What will this priority do is it will whatever the item that has more priority that will be executed by JavaScript first than the one that has low priority. So in this case, when JavaScript sees this, it will start uh, working from the left to right, and it has encountered A or B. In OR operator, it has seen, and an AND operator, and then an OR. So what will happen is AND has more priority than OR values on both sides. So what it will do is it will initially perform an AND operation between B and C. So we know from a fact that AND will only return true if and only if all the applied values are true. So in this case we have a false which is the first value. So it won't execute further and it will return a false. It need not see for C because B has false in it. So it will look like this. A, or we know that B is false and we have applied AND operator with the C. So B is false, so it need not execute further. It will return a false value. So it will look like this. Then it will be like D. Now I want to explain it further. We have true. We can substitute true here because A stores true value and a false for the next item. And what is D? D has B value and B has false value. So we know from the fact that OR will return a true if any of the items that it was applied on is at least one item true. Here one of the item is true. So it will immediately return a true value here. So if you may think like this, if true is not present here, and just imagine like that, just if here a false is present, just imagine like that, and true is present here. So initially what will happen is it will see a false. So execution move to this point. Here it will see a true value. Then a true will be returned here, and it need not see the last value. So that's how this OR operator will work. Let's save the program and run it in the terminal. We are expecting a true value to be printed to the console. See, we are getting a true value printed to the console. This is how an OR operator will work. I hope you understand this one, but don't worry, I want to make a separate video on this particular precedence on these logical operators and arithmetic operators as well. These logical operators can also be used with numbers and strings as well, but for that you need to learn a concept called as truthy values and falsy values. I'm thinking like it will be better if we made a separate video on that one because it's an important concept and you will pretty much use everywhere in JavaScript. So that's why I want to make another video on that one. But for now, just think truthy values are some values which represent something. Something in the sense non-empty. In the category of numbers, you can think like any number other than 0 can be a truthy value because 0 represents nothing. So that's why anything that represents nothing or emptiness will fall into the category of falsy values. For now, just keep an idea related to these falsy values and truthy values like that. With this, I am ending the video. If you think that the efforts that I am putting in making these videos are valuable, please like this video and subscribe the channel for further updates. Thank you.